their commitment to ban slavery are part of a long list of remarkable actions which triggered the Jailbreak. Emancipation Day is also an opportunity to celebrate the rich and diverse history of the Black population in Canada and Ontario. Your contribution to Canada's heritage has been absolutely remarkable. Ancestors of Ontario's Black community were one of the founding communities of Ontario and Canada. From the arrival of Mathieu de Costa, who was a navigator and interpreter for Pierre Duguay de Mont and Samuel de Champlain, the Black community has been present in Canada since the early 1600s. Many later arrived by the Underground Railroad or came through other means through the years.
Okay.
So we know that the Black community has been present in Ontario for more than 300
That's
years.
live. This is on. Okay.
Bill 111, Emancipation Day Act, 2008, recognizes that. Passed by the legislature unanimously, proclaims that August 1st in each year would be Emancipation Day. The Emancipation Day Act, 2008, was also the very first private member's bill introduced in the history of this House. It was co-sponsored by two MPPs from different parties, showing that parliamentarians can work together across party lines successfully, and it acknowledges with pride an important part of Ontario's heritage and history. In the 2016 census, the Black population in Canada reported more than 200 ethnic or cultural origins. Ontario is home to slightly more than half of the total Black population in Canada, and Toronto has the largest Black population in the country, with 37% of Canada's Black population, representing 7.5% of Ontario's total population, the highest proportion amongst the census metropolitan areas. Diversity was and remains one of Ontario's great strengths. La diversité était et demeure une des grandes forces de l'Ontario. We are very happy to host events like Emancipation Day here at Queen's Park and to participate in the celebration of our diverse Canadian heritage through multiculturalism. Et aujourd'hui, c'est un grand privilège pour moi d'être ici avec vous. My great pleasure to be with you here today as we celebrate the immense contribution of Black Canadians. We are grateful for all that you've done and all that you continue to do to strengthen our beloved province, and united we rightly display our pride in our accomplishments. At this time, it's my honor to call forward Mr. DeWitt Lee III from Emancipation Month Canada. And I'm pleased to have the chance to present him with a certificate in recognition of this special day. And it reads as follows. In celebration of Emancipation Day, it's my great pleasure on behalf of the Legislative Assembly of Ontario to send you our heartfelt congratulations for this important occasion. Once again, happy Emancipation Day, happy Emancipation Month. Congratulations, and thank you very much for coming.
Yeah!
Greetings, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Oh, we are. All right, great. Distinguished guests, honorary elders of our community, the village, it's all here at Turtle Island, and we've made ourselves home. It's an honor and privilege to be here, to be able to raise again the red, the black, and the green. This is not a symbol. This is not for status. This is a matter of nation building. It is a matter of taking hold of the fragments of our heritage, our culture, and putting it together so that it makes sense, so that it leads the next generation to a path of identity and purpose. And so I thank you all for being here today. We are going to, on this, and I heard the word Emancipation Day, and Every day is an emancipation day for us because it is a constant quest of emancipating ourselves from mental slavery and breaking from traditions and breaking from bondage spiritually, mentally, that dilutes who we are. And these are small steps towards reclaiming who we are. As voyagers traveled into Africa and saw the gold roads and saw the pyramids, they saw a civilization that was light years ahead of anything they've ever seen before. And as we Sankofa and go back and claim those days, we are proud to merge in the contributions of people of African descent all over the world. And today is not just an Emancipation Day, but today is the UN's first International Day of People of African descent. But the same year, in 1920, that these colors were decided to be the colors representing a global African diaspora, that same year, those same 20,000 UNIA ACL members also decided that August 31st will be forever a holiday. And it was Costa Rica that last year referenced this Declaration of Rights of Negro people of the world and claimed August 31st as the day of International Day of People of African Descent. So although globally today is the first, and I am so grateful for so many different contributions all across Ontario as we have demonstrated the same sense of pride and purpose in city halls all across Ontario, but it is also the 101st International Day of People of African Descent as we reclaim our history and our purpose. So I know we have a national anthem where we're going to prepare to raise the flag, and I want to just acknowledge those who I've spoken to, please to come to assist in that. This song was also the last year. This song was also determined to be the song to accompany this flag. Thank you. Please. Just hold it for a second. All right. So. Would like to come up and read our pledge once the flag is up. Now, I appreciate the speaker for also acknowledging that we are on indigenous land. And I had to make some decisions earlier in the month as we was raising flags to be in solidarity with the solemn spirit that we have, in solidarity with the indigenous community. And I would be remiss if we did not acknowledge the shoes that are left in front of Queen's Park. And what we did was, in Burlington, we raised the flag, but we raised it at half-mast. And that is what we would like to do as well here in commemoration of the somber and solemn time, because we have to be unified. And we are going to take that step in leadership to acknowledge the apathy and the pain, a pain that we know so well. So, Brother Louis, please, would you join us up here? Louis Allen, we have the youth here, and we are now going to begin the anthem.
When swords are thrust outward stream,
very much. Brother Dean from the Toronto UNIA ACL Division, the same organization that founded this flag, these colors, to this day, as well as we will read the pledge now.
I commit my body, mind, and spirit to the protection, defense, and security of the red, black, and green.
I dedicate my life to the redemption of Mother Africa and the liberation of her scattered black children. I accept for myself and my descendants the teaching of the universal African nationalism, and I promise that our children will be instilled with the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people, in order that the cause of our struggle will neither falter nor fail until all black people are free and united through one God, one aim, one destiny.
Okay, everybody, and at this moment right now, we are now going to play the Canadian National Anthem as a symbol of, obviously, the support and for this whole movement right now. So now we're going to play the Canadian National Anthem, and here we are. Suzette Vidal, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for Suzette Vidal. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we're going to keep this moving, ladies and gentlemen. Again, grateful to be here. My name is Naja Caliber, and right now we're going to hear some remarks from members of the Provincial Parliament. So at this point right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like for you guys to give a warm welcome to Mpp VJ Tani Gassalam.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, that was a beautiful anthem played by Suzette. Congratulations. You played beautifully well. I never heard Canada National Anthem in that way, so thank you so much. I'm pleased to join everyone here to commemorate Emancipation Day with today's flag raising at Queen's Park. I would like to thank our Honorable Speaker, Ted Arnott, for hosting this important event. I would also like to recognize our host, Naja, and I want to recognize Ms. Rita Garamba and Mr. David Lee. Thank you so much for leading this moment. And I want to recognize my colleagues, Mpp Jill Andrew, Mpp Mitzi Hunter, and Mpp Mike Schreiner. On August 1st, 1834, the Slavery Abolition Act was enacted across British Empire, marking the end of slavery in Canada. Every year in Ontario, we recognize Emancipation Day to commemorate the anniversary of this significant moment in our history. Our strength as a province comes from diversity and inclusiveness. And it is only by understanding the mistakes of our past we can work towards building a future, a brighter future for everyone. Although we continue to make progress in our fight against racism, and recent events serve as an important reminder that our work is not done. Emancipation Day is an opportunity for all of us to educate ourselves on the history of slavery in Canada and to reaffirm our commitment to fighting against systematic racism and discrimination. Today's event is also an excellent opportunity to honor the heritage of Ontario's Black community and to celebrate the many contributions that they have made to our province. On behalf of our government, I would like to thank each and every one of you here today for your hard work and dedication in building Ontario a more inclusive for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you once again, guys. MPP VJ Tani Gasalam from the Progressive Conservative Party. Thank you for those words. And again, yeah, thank you for everybody coming up here. Next up, we would like to introduce the distinguished MPP Jill Andrew from the New Democratic, I'm sorry, my tongue rolled, New Democratic Party. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, Jill Andrew. And all my viewers at home, thank you for joining us as well. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you, Nancy. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? How are you doing? It's Emancipation Day, month, every day, 365 days a year. My name is Jill Andrew, and I'm the Ontario NDP MPP for Toronto St. Paul's. I'm also the Culture, Heritage, and Women's Issues critic. I'm deeply honored, of course, to be here today, standing with each and every one of you, celebrating, acknowledging, paying due respects to Emancipation Day, to the month, to our Black liberation, to the liberation of African, Black, and Caribbean people here, and frankly, everywhere. And getting to do this during the United Nations People of African Descent Decade is quite an honor. And as you know, from that decade, we are fighting for recognition, for justice, and for development. This past month, communities across Canada and Ontario, of course, have been recognizing Emancipation Day. It's been an opportunity for us to grapple with where we've been, grapple with where we are, and frankly, to consider where we need to go. Where we need to go to ensure we have equitable societies, a just system that treats us equally, where we have the material conditions, the education, the housing, the access to clean drinking water, quite frankly, which if that's not a human right, what is? We need these things. They're not wants, they are needs. We need to see our Black small businesses thrive. We need our arts, our culture, our heritage, our very DNA, our identity to thrive. And it's not enough for that to happen during Emancipation Month. It's not enough for it to happen on Emancipation Day. It needs to be 365 days a year. And we need to ensure that we have governments in place that will do this work. Not because it's the work that saves their seat, or it's because it's the work that gets them on the cover of a magazine or a newspaper article, but because it's the work that ensures they can wake up the next day and look themselves in the mirror with dignity, with respect, knowing that they have stood up for the people most marginalized, most disenfranchised, most hit, frankly, by white supremacy. Because we talk about the COVID-19 pandemic a lot, but we forget that our people, African, Black, Caribbean people across the diaspora, we have been living and dying at the hands of white supremacy in all of the ways in which it systematically shows itself. So I cannot say thank you enough to people like DeWitt Lee, to leaders like Mr. March, to scholars and Bryants like Professor Allen, to so many folks who are in this audience today, who are in fact the very reason why I have a chance to stand here as an MPP doing the work of the official opposition. fighting for those of us who are black folks living with chronic illnesses like sickle cell. I was so proud as a member of the NDP to put forth a motion demanding better lives, better treatment, a universal protocol for folks, black folks, disproportionately impacted by sickle cell. I was so proud to put forth motions that supported our black businesses, like those that I call home in St. Paul's, like Little Jamaica, which we know we've been crushed long before the pandemic due to the Eglinton LRT construction, a political hotbed. Let's put the politics aside. We can stand up and do what's right for the people, for us, for black folks. Thank you all for holding us accountable, for holding the government accountable, for reaching out to myself, NDP official opposition. Many of you I've had so many conversations with over the last 3 years. I look forward to having more. Our emancipation means more than a day and a month. It means our economic emancipation. It means ensuring we have intergenerational wealth. It means ensuring we have access to health care, to an education that puts our curriculum, our lived experience, our dreams first, and does not block out our history, as we've seen for so many years. Together, let's renew our commitment. Let us renew our commitment to ourselves, to being involved in the democratic process, to ensuring that not one of us is left behind in Ontario. Not one of our black PSWs, our long-term care health workers, our ECEs, our EAs, our teachers, our janitors, our custodians, our cashiers. Let us ensure that not one of us is left behind. Because if one of us is left behind, we've all failed. And God knows I don't believe in failure. My mama didn't raise me that way to believe in failure. She raised me to believe in my black brilliance, in your black brilliance, and in our right to liberation. Stop asking. We got to start demanding from this government, from the one in Ottawa, and we got to do it together with Indigenous communities, with communities experiencing disabilities, with our brothers and sisters and non-gender conforming folks, with our elders showing us the way, with the children who often are smarter than some of the adults in this building. We got to work together, folks. Thank you so much. Happy Emancipation Day. Happy Emancipation Month. Happy Black Excellence. Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, but I mean, my sense of empowerment and purpose just went up a couple of notches right there. One more time for Jill Andrews, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Next up, I would like to call Mpp Mike Hunter from the Liberal Party. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Mike Hunter.
Thank you, Naja. Good afternoon, everyone. Jambo. Bonjour à tous.
Good afternoon.
It's really great to be here. Every time I come to a flag raising for Emancipation Day, I taste the freedom and how sweet it must have been. How sweet it must have been. And I'm honored to speak here and do it. Thank you for doing this, your advocacy across this country. And Rita, thank you so much. I want to acknowledge the work of the Emancipation Day Canada and its volunteers and just the voice that you're raising and how important it is at this time for the young and for the not so young. Because the real history of Black people in Canada is not so well known. I know that growing up here, I immigrated to this country as a child. It wasn't something that was taught in our history books. And I believe that part of the freedom is the knowledge, and the knowledge that we have to share. And you know, a few years ago, I received knowledge that I will not soon forget. I was on a tour in Jamaica in a plantation. And this was an unofficial part of the tour, to be honest. We looked at the sugarcane mill, and it was very historic, and, we did all the typical things. But the guy that was taking on the tour took us at the side of the Caribbean Sea, the beautiful Caribbean Sea. And there was a well that was built over the sea. And if you look down in it, you see the water splashing. And he said, unfortunately, many souls died in this well, because this was really the place that perhaps a slave who ran away would be brought back and made an example of. And the reason this particular way of dying was so cruel was that you weren't killed as you were put down in the well. You were put down alive, your hands and your feet bound. And what would kill you is the rising tide. And you can imagine that sometimes that took a while to happen. But the people who ran that plantation relied on that. They relied on those cries and those screams to quell the ambition of those who remained. And so when I saw that image, and I thought about that image, and I thought about my people, and the fact that we are still here, and that resiliency carried us and will carry us. And the reason I say that education and knowledge is important, and it's important that our curriculum speaks to the true history. Maroons are the people who refused to be enslaved from Jamaica. And in fact, they still live there today. And at one point, Maroons were shipped here to Canada, to Nova Scotia. And they were so skilled and they were so talented that they were put into service to help defend what would later become Canada. And in fact, they were paid the same wages as white soldiers because they were so skilled. And that is the kind of knowledge that we need to talk about. The history and the roots of slavery come with intergenerational trauma, much of which we still see. And Dr. Jill Andrews articulated some of those challenges that we face as a province and as a country. But the knowledge that we can also glean will help us find a path and a way out of that. Because knowledge is freedom. It truly is. And it is something that cannot be bought or sold, and that has carried us for many, many, many centuries. So I want to say thank you to Emancipation Day Canada. I stand here reveling on August the 31st, 2021, 101 years of celebrating this day. And for me, Emancipation Day, August 1st, is a day I will never forget, because it was on August 1st, 2013, that I was elected to this legislature. An immigrant child from Jamaica who stands on the shoulders of those resilient people, has the honor and the privilege to use my voice to represent this province, my community, and this country. So every time I go up these stairs, I enter these doors, I take that with me, because that voice is the voice that I have to use to honor the freedom that so many people gave their lives to ensure. So thank you so much. I want to say to do it, keep going, my brother, keep going, because we've come a long way, but we have a Scarborough. Yes, we've come a long way, but we have a mighty long way still to go. So thank you, merci, and keep safe. I hope you've all done your vaccinations. I have to say that because we are in a pandemic right now, and the Black community has been hit more than any other. So I want to see our community at the front of the line for vaccinations. And if you need information, just ask. Thank you so much. And do it if you could just receive this on behalf of the Ontario Liberal Caucus. That would be great.
Come up here, brother Ray. Come up here, please. Where's Cosmic, brother Cosmic? Diamond, please join us. Delete all the photos with no bag. Delete them. Check all the photos. Check all the photos. Delete them. Delete them. I'm gonna give you one right down, right here, behind the front. Yeah. Looking straight down to me. Focus on. Last one, last one, last one. Last one, yep. Last one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yes, one more time, a round of applause for Mitzi Hunter. Thank you for that wonderful passage and a little bit of history. I mean, it's just on your words right there. Me growing up from Grenada, that's Spice Man from Grenada, but you know, grew up here, and it's again one of those things where you just didn't fully understand or know too much about our own particular history. So I think, and more of that is changing, which is fantastic. And I want to thank everybody, all race, creed, and color, because this is what it's all about, as it's unity. But we're here to obviously celebrate and put some focus on this right here. And I appreciate the fact that we're also acknowledging the indigenous plight as well, as we know all too well what they've been going through too as well. So kudos to everybody. So next up, he's my new brother from another mother. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Mpp Mike Schreiner.
All right.
You gotta rock that. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Bonjour tout le monde. It is an honor to be here with you today, and I just want to thank Emancipation Month Canada for organizing today's event, and for my colleagues for being here today and speaking those powerful words. It's so great to see the red, black, and green flying here at Queen's Park today. Great, it's so thoughtful. And I know you always speak from the head and the heart. It's so thoughtful to do the flag at half-mast today. And appropriate. You know, today's flag raising marks the end of Emancipation Month, and it's so appropriate that it's on the United Nations International Day for People of African Descent. It marks a recognition that we have come a long way since slavery was abolished on August 1st, 1834. in the British Empire. And I want to be very clear to everyone here today, everyone listening, and everyone across this province, that today is also a reminder of how far we have to go to achieve black liberation on each and every day, as Dr. Jill Andrews said. And while we're here today to celebrate freedom, emancipation, and while I'm so inspired by the strength and the resiliency of the black community, as Mitzi Hunter said, we also have to confront the racialized legacy of slavery and the systemic racism that persists in our society today. And so I want to say something special to people who look like me. We have a responsibility, a huge responsibility, to speak out against white supremacy, systemic racism, and the rising levels of hate that we see in this province. We have to stand shoulder to shoulder with our black brothers and sisters if we're truly going to achieve liberation, equality, and a society where everyone, regardless of your background, lives with dignity and respect. This is something that's beyond politics, it's beyond party. This is a responsibility that each and every MPP in this legislature and each and every person in this province shoulders. And so let's celebrate today. Let's celebrate today. And let's commemorate the end of slavery in the British Empire and in Canada. But let's commit, and I'm especially talking to white people, let's commit to ending hate, systemic racism in our country and in our province. Let's make that the legacy of Emancipation Day. Thank you, merci. When I do have a scroll on behalf of the Ontario Greens. We only have a caucus of one, so you have all of us here today to share it with you. But I'd like to share this with you, my friend.
All right, and as you know, I'm going to ask everybody one more time. That was fantastic. One more time, a warm round of applause for Mike Schreiner, ladies and gentlemen. So that concludes that part of the segment. So at this point, I just want to thank everybody, this part of the speaking segment. I just want to thank once again Honorable Ted Arnott. Thank you so much. I want to thank VJ Tiny Gasolin. Thank you so much. Jill Andrew, Mitzi Hunter, and Mike Schreiner, thank you very much for making this a very, very special day. Thank you. All right, my heart feels so warm right now. All right, so now what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is, and by the way, I did not know I was going to be hosting this part of this. I did not know, so this is why it's a little, but all my viewers at home, they know what's up. We'll be right back after this commercial break as we continue on with this right here. Okay, we can go right into this right here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, right now we would like to call Mr. DeWitt Lee for the Emancipation Day Canada to give his remarks. So that's all. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than the man himself. I've watched this man groundbreaking, always at the grassroots of any type of movement for the community. It's an honor to know him and to watch his movement. He has not changed his stripes from the first day I met him. And we need more people like him, more leaders like him. And I want to thank you for being an incredible inspiration to me and to all of us here. No, seriously, thank you so much. Thank you, and I love you.
As we reclaim Sankofa and we go back and reclaim, these is a very important aspect to acknowledging and welcoming those who've come before us. Um, every one of these flag raisings, there's a shift in who's in the stands and who's involved. And too many of our treasured members of our community have transitioned, and so we carry the baton and we carry their legacy on. The flag raising here at Queens Park will forever be dedicated to Hugo, who is an incredible artist and pillar of our community, and his spirit will last forever. And so what we do in our community is we pour a libation, and I'm going to ask for you to just give us a moment. If there are any of our ancestors who are on your heart and you would like to share their name out loud and acknowledge them and welcome to the space, you're welcome. If you'd like to remain silent and say it among yourself, you're welcome. And I will start off by acknowledging our ancestors that come before us as we raise this mighty red, black, and green flag. We honor the founder, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Ashe.
Ashe.
Please think about someone personal in your life as we celebrate Sister Akua Walcott, who is transitioned. We acknowledge our W. Laws. We acknowledge Charles Roach. We acknowledge Harriet Tubman. I'm listening. We acknowledge Malcolm X. We acknowledge Ashe. Ashe. Haile Selassie. Ashe. And for all those names that were whispered in silence, we pay tribute to their contributions in making today possible. And I will just discard this here and back into nature where it came from. Now it's time for the musical components. I would like to thank you. This is my last opportunity to everyone who's come here today. Thank you, Jenny, for everything you've done. It's truly an honor to work with such a great and amazing professional like you. I cannot wait for you to get into the music component of it. But I would just like to thank the co-founder of Emancipation, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who has given me all the vision and all the provision to be able to be here. Thank you, Mike. You spoke to a community that needs to hear that loud and clear. And I want everyone to take themselves back to 1843, right? Think about it. After the act was passed, what was done for those that were enslaved to recondition their minds? What was done to allow them to recapture their identity, their purpose, their gifts? The one thing we always had was the dignity. But what was done? And on behalf of the other side of the coin, what was done to eliminate the hate that allowed such horrific things to take place? So right now, it's the end of emancipation, but now it's time for us to work. And the work is going to be done through the UNACL, the principles left behind by the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey that will inspire and instruct us to be able to build a mighty nation, to be able to get the things that our community needs, and be able to always look towards Africa. I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Dewitt. Listen, thank you so much. Wow. So we're coming towards the end of this. We're going to have a couple of performances. But right now, before we get into that, can I get everybody to raise one hand, please? Raise one hand in the air. I want you to repeat after me. I feel empowered. Now I want you to look to the person next to you and say, how you doing? I feel empowered. All right. Excellent, man. This is what it's all about. So, okay. I guess I'm going to do a performance, I guess. All right. So, I'm just... yeah, okay, yes. Sure.
All right. So now, I get to have a little fun now. All right. So introducing the international voice of football, who's just come from all over the world, hosted World Cups, big-time performer, one of my favorite artists. This song is going to make you move. All right. So get ready to move. Start moving right from the beginning. All right. So you don't miss a beat. Introducing the one and only Naza.
All right, before we get into that, I just want to say something before we play that. I'm going to do a quick little thing just in honor of this incredible moment we're having here. I got to take off my shades, for this is not about looking cool. It's about feeling the vibe and seeing everybody. All right. Old pirates, yes, they rob by, sold life to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pits. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. So won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Is all I've ever had. Redemption songs, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them is up at a time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Ooh, some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Ooh, yeah. So won't you help to sing? Ooh, yeah. These songs of freedom is all I ever had. Redemption songs, redemption songs. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So yeah, this song right here is about my own emancipation. Grateful today to say that, you know, mental slavery, physical addiction. You know, I'm just grateful to be sober and grateful that my life has turned around. Praise to God. Yeah, I'm just grateful. So, anyways, we're just gonna play this song here, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, hey. Yes, indeed. Right now, we wanna have a little bit of fun right now. We're just vibing right now. This is emancipation. All right, we're gonna keep it moving like this, y'all. Are you having a good time? Make some noise. Whoa. This is a wonderful, wonderful moment. It is my honor to be here. Check it out, yo. I was gonna chill out today. I wasn't going away. No, 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 yeah. Till I heard my favorite song play, yeah. And that's when things changed. Now I'm ready for the day, hey, hey. Now I'm ready for the day, hey, hey. Now I'm ready for the day, hey. Now I'm ready for the day. 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 Yo. Good morning, good evening, whenever you wake up. I don't mix the licks, it's only straight up. So I had to pump the brakes, had to wake up. Not cosmetics, this you cannot make up. The fast lane, only lane I used to take up since high school days. Pope John and Bray Buff. Look where all this party had made us. Finish everything like LeBron does layups. Many nights I'd stay up, opposite of woke though. Gotta thank the Lord, got this drinking in a chokehold. Anyway, swear I wasn't gonna showboat. At least when I party now I don't go loco. I was gonna chill out today. Today, I wasn't going no way. I was depressed, yo. Then I heard my favorite song play, yeah. And that's when things change. Now I'm ready for the day, hey, hey. Now I'm ready for the day, hey, hey. Now I'm ready for the day, hey. Now I'm ready for the day. 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 Yo. Horns. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Check it out, yo. Hello, Mama Africa, how are you? This feeling's fine, and I hope you are too. Hello, Mama Africa, how are you? This feeling's fine, and I hope you are too. Now I feel alive. Now I feel alive. Now I feel alive. Yes, indeed. Now I feel alive. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. My name is Nigel Caliber. It's an honor and privilege to be here. God bless you. And we're going to have some more people coming up right now. Oh my God, a big shout out to my 7-month-old daughter and my fiance in the back there, Zanea. Oh, she's too cute. I'm gonna squish her. God bless her. I'm so grateful to change my life around, that's for sure. All right, amen. Okay, so now we got, oh, ladies and gentlemen, let me see 1 second. Right here, right now, we are got, after Nacha, what we got is an artist, oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to speak in my British voice now. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Right about now, we like to bring in the artist, the dying thief from Hope in the 6 for a spoken word performance. Ladies and gentlemen, my Jenna, good to see you, fam. Bless.
I know my days will be long and my nights will be few. Through the visions I could see clearly that there's gonna be peace, love and harmony, black understanding among my people, yes. And then we're gonna jump and shout, Black Liberation Day. Oh yes, we're gonna sing and shout, the right understanding day. Oh yes, we're gonna jump and shout, Black Liberation Day. Oh yes, we're gonna sing and shout, the right understanding day. Oh yes, many people will try to cut you down, trying their best to rearrange you. Ooh, but no matter what they do, they won't conquer you, no matter what they do. We're gonna free up our brothers. We're gonna free our brothers. We're gonna help our brothers. We're gonna love our sisters. And then we're gonna jump and shout, Black Liberation Day. Oh yes, we're gonna sing and shout, the right understanding day. Oh yes, we're gonna jump and shout, Black Liberation Day. Oh yes, we're gonna sing and shout, the right understanding day. Oh yes. Blessings.
Bless up, bless up. All right.
Help us figure that. Help us get that. Help us get that.
We're gonna jump and shout, Black Liberation Day. Oh yes, we're gonna sing and shout, the right understanding day. Oh yes, one more time. We're gonna jump and shout, Black Liberation Day. Oh yes, we're gonna sing and shout, the right understanding day.
We're gonna ask everyone to come join us, please.
All right, guys, that is the end of it. One more time, give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible. Once again.
We have a photo needed with the flag brothers, so maybe you can try to step back a little bit so we can try to get the flag in it.
The Dying Thief from Hope in the 6. One more time, you have to remember that name. The Dying Thief, that is an incredible name, incredible performance. The Dying Thief from Hope in the 6. Now we're just having a quick photo op right here, guys. And again, thank everybody. Absolute pleasure. All right.
All the members of the Emancipation Home Committee, please. Stand up, stand up front. Sister Simone, can I ask you to come up here? Keep right. I was waiting for the photographer to tell me where we need to be. Nigel, please come up here. All performers, all contributors. work, bro, but get someone to get the camera. Alan Solomon, Minister of Music. Come up. All right, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's good. I know you love to take the photo, sir, but...
Come on in, sir.
Come on, sir. Come on, let's take it.
Come on in.
D-Block. Yeah, come join us, man. All right, look at that. I'm going to try to get them all open. Okay. I'll let you work through it. I'll let you work through it. You got the flag? Okay. Okay, perfect. Oh.